I'm here today with the U.S. Coast Guard, and we're going to be talking to you about boating safety.
All right, Josh, so tell me, you're an avid boater.
Yep.
So in your opinion, what is most important when it comes to boating safety?
Well, number one, before I ever get on the ocean, I make sure that I check the weather. I mean, the weather is going to determine if you have a good day or a bad day. So wave height, wave period, wind direction, wind speed, super important, and also check for storms. You do not want to be offshore 20, 30 miles in a lightning storm. Not a good idea. You want to make sure your boat is well maintained. That's super important. I've done that mistake where you get out there, your boat breaks down, and your whole great day of fishing just gets ruined.
So Josh, when you go out on your fishing trips, what kind of safety equipment are you taking out there with you?
Number one, I take a GPS for my location and so I can find my fishing spots. Number two, multiple forms of communication. I want a BHF radio, I want my cell phone, and obviously if you can afford it, you want to get a satellite phone. So, you know, you can let people know when you catch a big fish, hey, just caught a huge fish offshore, you know, and also for safety.
Right.
And you definitely want an EPIRB, so in case your boat sinks, you guys can still find us and save our lives. Then obviously your safety stuff, your life jackets, your whistles, your horns, your flares, flotation devices, whatever you need for Coast Guard law. And also an anchor. I mean, an anchor to me is super important because if you get in a situation where, and I've been in a situation where your engines break down and you're in a current, you can drop the anchor, hold that spot, and wait for help to come.
It's fantastic. That's all great safety equipment to take. Some of it's required federally, like your life jackets, one per person on board the vessel. I do like what you said, you have multiple forms of communication. You have your VHF channel 16, that's the International Hailing and Distress channel. So no matter where you are, you can reach out to somebody on channel 16 for assistance, for emergency assistance if needed. You also said you have your cell phone with you. Did you know that you can call 911 and they can patch you in through the dispatcher to us for assistance? Yeah, local and state municipalities work with us federally all the time, so we coordinate search and rescue cases wherever we are and work very closely to help each other out. Certain things that the Coast Guard will check when we board are based on federal regulations. So like I mentioned earlier, one life jacket per person on board is required. Also, you're going to want to have a throwable like a life ring, and that should be out and immediately available. It doesn't really do you any good if someone falls overboard, and that throwable is up underneath all your fishing gear. Exactly.
Yeah, I've
so
done that several times.
You have to dig for 5 minutes to pull that tool out to, you know, rescue a friend. Exactly.
Yeah, that's tough.
So I recommend always having those out and immediately available. You also want to have good forms of signaling. So your horns, your air horns, or your installed horns are very important to have so you can signal other boaters by sound.
What's so important about a float plan? I heard you guys keep talking about float plans around here. Why do we need to file a float plan?
Okay, I'm glad you brought that up. Float plans are really important, all right? So we often get calls from concerned family members, friends, whatever, saying, hey, my friend, my husband, whatever the case may be, didn't show up where we were expecting him to be, and we have no other information, right? So a float plan, basically you tell everyone where you're going, what time you're leaving, where you're leaving from, where you're planning on going, what time you're planning on being there, if you're making any stops on the way, what you're going to be doing, all, you know, as much information as you can. That way, if you know the worst case scenario happens, we have information to go off of. We can launch boats or aircraft or whatever it is to search for you and give you that timely assistance that you might need.
That's important. So you basically, it's a starting point for you guys to start your search.
Absolutely. We can start right away. It's actionable information we can use.
If you don't file a full plan, this thing can help too, right?
Absolutely. So what we got here is an EPIRB, it's an emergency position indicating radio beacon. So this is a bigger one like that you might fit on your boat. There's also smaller ones that we actually all carry with us when we're underway. We call it PLBs, personal locator beacons. It's the same thing. Basically, it's a homing device, right? So it transmits on radio signals that go up to satellites and also can be used for radio direction finders that we're equipped with. So some of these even activate automatically if they're submerged in water. So someone could maybe have been thrown out of the water, a boat could capsize, someone could even be unconscious or injured, and that would have already been set off, and we can go directly to that position to find them. So
That's
it's
awesome.
an invaluable asset.
Yeah, so literally you guys do not want to go in the water without one of these. And how much do these cost?
It depends on the model, but you know, a few $100. But you know, that's a small price to pay, you know, for the peace of mind.
Peace of mind for both you guys, family members, and boaters. I mean, seriously, like, you guys need to get one of these.
Absolutely.
So Josh, what are some experiences you've had that have affected you in regards to boating safety?
So recently I had a trip where we were offshore, I was with a buddy of mine, and I was fighting this big shark. All of a sudden this storm just crept up on us out of nowhere. And you know me, I was like, man, I gotta get this fish to the boat. I've been working hard for this fish, so fought the fish for about 20, 30 minutes. By that time, the storm had surrounded us, so we're in a situation where, like, okay, we're screwed. Engine stopped working, BHF radio stopped working. My cell phone wasn't working because there was water in the microphone and in the speaker. It was raining cats and dogs. So I'm like, man, this really sucks. I managed to get a hold of the towboat company, but we couldn't actually talk on the phone. So we had a text the whole time. And if I would have had a working BHF radio, they would have found us way sooner than, you know, when they did. And right when they found us, there was this ball of lightning that hit us. Like literally all around both of our boats was lightning. It was so scary.
It sounds like it. Seems like it was a close call. Glad you got out okay.
Yeah, it was. I'm glad I didn't have to call you guys. That would have been bad news, man. What is your most memorable moment when it comes to being in the Coast Guard and rescuing people?
I have one specific example that sort of jumps out to mind. Received a call about a boat that capsized and there were several people on board. So we head out and we're searching for them, and obviously the boat was upside down, so they weren't able to use radios to contact us. But fortunately, one of the individuals had his cell phone, and he was able to talk to 911 dispatch and sort of guide us into their position. When we rolled up on scene, there were several gentlemen sitting on top of the underside of a boat out in the middle of the ocean. We were able to pass over life jackets, extra life jackets that we carry, get them all in life jackets, and then pull them on board with other state and local agencies that were assisting as well as some commercial salvage agencies that had come out to help with that as well. But it was one of those times where boaters go out and with the best intentions, and things can turn sideways and south real quick.
Oh yeah.
They were out fishing, and then a wave hit the side of their boat, and that was it. They were all in the water. They
Actually,
had time to grab life jackets.
Speaking of that, I was out recently. We were just out 4 miles, and it was like 3 to 5, 4 to 6. Out of nowhere, this 15+ rogue wave came behind the boat, and our boat was facing west. The waves were coming from the east. This boat was coming toward our stern, and I was like, oh my gosh. And I told the captain, dude, book it right now. Go, go, go. If that thing would have broke on us, we would have been done. It would have been over. It was like a wall of water. It was scary.
Crazy things like that happen in the ocean all the time. It's unpredictable for the most part. You know, we can sort of predict sea state most time, weather most of the time, but odd stuff like that can happen in the blink of an eye. So being more prepared before you get out there is always, you're gonna be better off.
Definitely.
To be dealing with a situation like that in the long run.
We had a great day filming with the U.S. Coast Guard. Make sure you guys go and check out their app. Link is in the description. It's got everything you need to be a safe boater on the water. Also, don't forget to take advantage of the Coast Guard Auxiliary's free vessel safety inspection. It's free, guys. Take advantage of it. And above all, don't forget your life jackets. It's the number one thing they talk about around here. Life jackets, life jackets, life jackets. They will save your life. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and we'll see you next time.